That's bad.
Man, she cleaned up nice. All right, got James Brown loaded up. Gonna strap it down. We're gonna head to US 131 in Martin, Michigan, and see how the car does. So I did completely change up the boost control method. I don't really know what the car is gonna do, so the first couple passes are gonna be kind of throwaway just to get data, see what it's gonna do, and then hopefully we can run a pretty decent time with it. The best the car's been in the 8th is 606 at 117, I think, 114, 117, one teens. And in the quarter, it's been 9.5 at 140. I don't know if we're gonna run the quarter today. We might let off after the 8th, but if it's feeling good, might keep going. So I'm pretty stoked. Hopefully the car does good. Tech doesn't give us any issues. Let's hit the road. God dang. There's 6 people here, and we're 2 of them. I cannot believe how few cars are here.
Some of that squeak noise.
All right.
I was talking about.
Yeah, I didn't hear a squeak at all.
I heard it on the inside here.
Right now, if something happens, he crashes, that's the first thing we'd look for. Is that power switch kill the whole car. So that way it keeps burning off. So you need to get one put in.
Nice car. Buzzing's clean.
All right, got all teched in. He didn't like that I didn't have a battery kill switch. And I think that was it. He just wanted me to add a battery kill switch, but we're all good to run. So for our first pass, I know that 65% duty cycle makes about 10 pounds on the 2-step. 55 made, I think, 7 or 8. So I got it at 50% duty cycle, expecting it to make about 6-ish pounds on the 2-step. And then I got 20% duty cycle down track, because the other day I had it at 30 and it was a lot higher than I was expecting. So I'm commanding a lot lower, hoping that it's not like some sort of boost creep issue, which it shouldn't be. I know that when I disconnect the boost controller and run it straight off gate, it stays nice and steady right at like 6-7 pounds. all the way through the run, so there shouldn't be any issue there. We can probably leave the hood off for the first pass just to make sure everything's going to be okay. Fingers crossed that the 20% doesn't go over, you know, like 15 pounds. Because I know that at the 30% I saw 18 pounds. So we'll see. Waiting for him to finish prepping stuff. And we still got to set the tires. Hey, there's your truck.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Let's go bring my trailer to get back.
Yeah. We should bring the golf cart back.
Yeah, no good. Okay, I'll just take the whole damn thing. Okay.
Yeah, might as well. So yeah, I still got to set the tire pressure. And then we can go jump in lanes and see what it'll do. Finally got my time slip. It was disappointing. My best mile an hour yet, 142, but it only went 159 to the 60 foot, 113 at the 8th at 669. Nice. But I think I know why. I launched at 7 pounds of boost, and as soon as I let off, the boost dipped down to 4 pounds and then peaked back up and stayed pretty steady the rest of the run. It wasn't until I shifted into second gear that the boost stayed steady at 19 pounds. So all of first gear, it dropped and then slowly built back up, shifted, and then it stayed there. So that's why the mile an hour was good. It was on 19 pounds throughout second. So basically all of first sucked. And I think I shifted into second at about 450 feet, give or take. So, and I think I know what caused that. I've never done PWM tables, so my little Neanderthal brain, I was commanding 50% duty cycle. You saw 50% duty cycle for the two-step, and then I immediately dropped it down to 20% duty cycle. So what I'm going to do this time is 50% duty cycle on the two-step, and then feather it down to 20 to see if that keeps things happier. I don't know if it'll work at all, but that's why we test. So I'm going to let the car cool off a little bit, and then we'll hop back in the lanes. The DA is kind of high, so it wasn't super happy building boost. James. So, had another boost control issue, and might have found part of it. Never noticed that, which really sucks. So that could, I mean, obviously that's a massive boost leak. I can almost fit my whole pinky in there. So the car went a whole lot slower because I changed things up, and it went the same ET 10.2, but at 135. Slightly better 60 foot, still kind of trash. It was like 156, I think, 157. And then right after the finish line, I let off, and this side just started clattering, a bunch of smoke coming out of the breather. I kind of think maybe a push rod or a rocker. Not entirely sure, but needless to say, we're done here today. So I got to figure out what's going on with the motor and figure out the boost control. As soon as I do that, the car will be fast as heck again. But right now, I'm getting kind of pissed off. All right, so it's obviously a little bit later. That was probably top 5 worst track days I've ever been to. So I was having that boost control issue, and then after the last pass, it started smoking and everything after the line. I kind of thought that maybe one of the rockers came off on this side because I heard a little bit of clattering. So called it a day. Went to fire the car up to put it on the trailer, and that's typically not what you want your car to do when you turn the key to start it. You usually want the engine to spin over, not go like 3 degrees and then stop. So I was pretty sure at that point that the motor was actually hurt. So ended up pushing the car back, winched it up on the trailer, got home, and by that time it had cooled off enough that it did fire up, and it was making a horrendous squeak. So my kind of suspicions about possibly spinning a bearing were seeming more and more true. I am 99.9% sure that I spun a bearing. I don't know if it's a main or a rod bearing yet. Obviously I haven't torn that apart, but I am going to pull the rockers off real quick and see if anything is a little funky there. I'm not really sure why, unless just like a bolt somehow backed out. Everything else theoretically should be fine. It's not like I was spinning it to some crazy RPM or it has junk valve springs in it or anything like that. I shifted it at 7200, which I feel like should have been plenty safe enough. So I don't know if it was an oil consumption issue, or maybe sometime in the next couple days I'll get this engine pulled out and see what I see. I'm honestly more upset about the boost control issues than anything to do with the engine, because the engine is just an LS. I mean, I've got another fresh one right there. I've got 2 more over on the other side of the 55. So it's like the LS, yeah, that sucks. As long as the cam's okay, everything else is fine. I can just pop that out, put another one in a day. But the boost control issues are what's really frustrating me, because this car, it should be able to sneeze a 9. I mean, you saw the issues I was having. Literally all of first gear, so for the first 6 seconds of the run, it started off at like 7-8 psi, dipped down to 4 psi, and then by the time I had shifted is when it got over 12 psi again. So it's like, for it to go 10-1, 10-2 on that, it's all right. 142 miles an hour out the back ain't bad, but it should be able to do a whole lot better than that. So the boost control issue is what's really pissing me off. So let me get the valve covers pulled off. We'll see what's going on. All right, valve covers ready to come off. Come on, come on, come. There we go. Well, that's not exactly what I was hoping to see. Honestly, I was hoping there would be something real obvious. Alright, well, let me get the other side pulled off, see what we're working with there. Ooh, what is that? The frick was that? That oil looks weird. And now it looks pretty normal. Huh. Alright, well, let me get the other side pulled off, see how that looks. I definitely heard something over here though, but I guess if it was that spun bearing. Alright, got the driver's side off now too, and everything up here looks fine. Looks pretty clean, a little bit of moisture in there mixed with the oil, just E85 stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. I should pull the plugs, but I'm not going to because the motor's got to come out anyway, so what's the point? I can just look at the plugs when I get the engine out. So looks like we are going to go from our iron block to the aluminum block over there, which will drop about 100 pounds off the front of this. Might have just been a oiling issue, but luckily it should be pretty easy to change. Take it out, pull the cam out, put the cam in the new one, and then hopefully we'll be back in business. So I think that's how we're going to end this disappointment of a video, but we got the best mile an hour yet. Can't be too mad at that. And I was telling Jess, it's like, I'm upset about the motor, of course, but if it was on its way out, it was on its way out. There's not much I can do about that. It either goes out at the track or goes out at the street, or it was on its way out at some point. It either happened then or it happened later. That's like whatever. The boost control issue, that's something stupid that is just fighting me. So that's what I'm upset about. So anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking that bell. I'll see you next time.